Ladies and gentlemen, 5 Downs podcast. That was really bad walking.
That was terrible, bro. You sound like Kermit the Frog doing an impression of. You sound like Patrick Mahomes doing Christopher Walken.
That was horrible. That was pretty bad. I don't think I do a good impression of anybody. I do very mediocre ones, and that's it. I don't have a go-to one that like we're at a party. Hey, Edwin, do your walking. Nah. No one's ever said that.
That's a hard talent to have, man.
It is.
Not everybody has that talent.
Although I saw an impressionist at I went on. Have you ever done the cruise, those party boats that go through Fort Lauderdale and they take you to like a place to eat? It's called like the Jungle Queen or something.
Like the A1A.
You guys ever done that? The A1A? It takes you through like all the famous houses. Like I saw all of Huizinga's houses and stuff. We went on this cruise. It was a little like for a couple hours, and it's just through the intercoastal and stuff. It was pretty cool. But then there was this when we get to the spot, there's an impressionist who was doing impressions of. He was doing if celebrities that were auditioning for a Kit Kat commercial or something, and the first one he did was Rodney Dangerfield, and it bombed horribly. Like nobody reacted, but then the dude went through
the disrespect.
Then he did, no, it was the total disrespect. But then he did Biden, and a bunch of like MAGA people started like booing him, and then he did the Trump, and then the MAGA people didn't know whether to boo or not, and it was really funny. Then he did Obama, then he did Clinton, and he did somebody else, and he actually was great at all that. But the Rodney Dangerfield, I don't know why that one just was in there, but good time, bro. It was a really good, fun little boat. But anyway. Nice, super bad segue tangent, that we haven't done in a while. I don't know what the word is there, but hey, this is the 5 Downs NFL podcast on Lemon City Live. Gotta do a proper introduction here. We're joined once again by the most beautiful, handsome man north of south of the Broward County line. That's what it is. Is that what we'll go with? You're not up there.
Not if you're talking about me, I'm definitely not north. I would never do that.
Yeah. Look at that guy. One, the only Achilles, back from the dead, bro. Thanks for hanging out, man.
Oh, hey guys.
All right.
That's the video today.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We've been missing that, dude. I love it. And Gus, thanks for hanging. And this is episode 4?
5.
5?
Yeah.
We got to update that on this screen over here. Episode 5 of the 5 Downs podcast. I don't know if we're going to have an episode 6 because now the NFL season's over. So let's have some fun tonight.
The NFL never ends, bro. Off season does not end.
Yeah, but we'll take a couple weeks off. And then we'll go from there. That's how we do it. But anyway, this is 5 Downs NFL podcast. We just had the Super Bowl. We got some bets to go over. I actually finally won some legit money on gambling. How about that? I was pretty proud of that. I lost some money too, but it wasn't that much. I was doing my little cheapy bets, but I won a nice little payday. We'll talk about that. We'll go over the Chiefs, the Niners, and then what I'm really looking forward to, and we'll wrap up the show with that, is talking a little bit about this Super Bowl halftime performance. Just show me a thumbs up or thumbs down where it was for you. Okay. All right. I think we're all in agreement. I like that. Okay, cool. All right, Gus. Chiefs go back-to-back. First team since 03-04 Patriots to do so. What was the final score? 25-22 overtime. Almost double overtime. What's your initial takeaway from the game here? I mean, I know last week we talked about it. We were hoping for a good game, but we weren't expecting the ending that we got. I don't think any of us were.
I mean, I don't think anybody expected to be as a defensive a game as it started out. But then they figured it out. Both offenses woke up at the tail end of the game there. But yeah, man, it was just super defensive to open it up, and it was kind of like. But it wasn't typical boring defensive game because there were a lot of exciting plays happening, like interceptions or just there was some exciting stuff
There's
happening.
one interception.
Yes, one
Wasn't
interception.
multiple.
Sorry,
One
I
interception. There's some
at the end of
fumbles.
interception. There were some fumbles. See, because when you're watching the game from the prop betting standpoint, as soon as McCaffrey fumbles the ball, you're like, ah! You know what I mean? That makes it exciting. Gambling is what makes the NFL exciting at the end of the day. I think if it wasn't for fantasy football or gambling, I don't think the NFL would be as big as it is right now.
Kelly's,
away from the Super Bowl.
You feel the same here, or did you find it? I found it kind of boring, like the game overall, and I thought it was.
No. So you started going on a tangent. I didn't want to interrupt you, dude.
No. It's all yours, bro. Stop me. Reel me back in.
No.
Go ahead.
So, like Gus was saying, it was obviously low scoring, but and listen, obviously the more points, the more exciting. But it was just, it was more that both defenses were so great, which I don't mind watching, than bad offense, than just like stupid plays and not being able to do anything. It was just both defensive lines were unbelievable, and the coverage by both teams was impeccable. Like, you never see that, especially in today's NFL where everything's a penalty. Both teams are just so good that no one was ever open. And if they were even a little bit open, someone made an outrageous play. You know what I mean? So obviously it could be more exciting, but it wasn't a bad game. It was just not what we're used to, a billion points.
I mean, for me,
Adam, what are you doing, bro?
What?
You're touching.
You don't hear me anymore?
I hear you. But for a while, I heard.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Man, stuff was moving here and on the desk, and I was just trying to make space. But anyway, no, my big surprise that I thought was very welcome surprise was that there was no real besides the one penalty at the end of was it at the end of it was in overtime, and the first drive for the Niners, there was that really weak holding call on the defense. That it was on a third and drive. It extended their drive. They ended up going down the field and getting the field goal. But it could have been
after
over
that penalty.
Quickly
After that penalty, I thought, oh, that's it. Niners are gonna win, and they didn't. Well, they weren't able to capitalize.
Well, they did. They drove down the field. They got a field goal. They did essentially what they needed to do, get points. But I thought as soon as that play ended and it was an incomplete pass, I was like, okay, Chiefs are going to win because they're going to get the short field. All they need now is a field goal to win it. And I was like, all right, it's game over. And it's Mahomes. He's Mahomes in overtime and in fourth quarter here. And in the playoffs, he's been unstoppable. I was like, all right, it's going to be easy. And then I was like, oh boy, I actually had the opposite thought. I was like, I think the Chiefs just lost it here because you gave them a first down and then all they did was just march down
Niners.
the field. Okay. All right. Well, that's what they did. They marched down the field, got the field goal, and I was like, all right, well, let's see. But 2 drives in overtime, and it took the duration of the whole freaking quarter. And were you guys aware of the new overtime rules going into overtime, or were you like the 49ers who apparently had no clue and just totally because
what is it? Can you break it down for our audience?
All right, our audience. Here's the thing. The NFL just keeps messing things up, and they keep trying to change things to make it more exciting. Because it's already exciting enough as it is, and I have no problem with sudden death the way it used to be. But they've been revamping the rules the last couple seasons. First, because of what happened with Brady and the Falcons in the Super Bowl, where they went into overtime. Falcons never got the ball. Brady took it down the field, scored a touchdown, and they won. Then it was further. More concern was raised because of what happened, escalated when Josh Allen didn't get a chance to, possess the ball in that playoff game. So they said, okay, look, hey, both teams are going to get regardless of what they do on the first drive, both teams are going to have a chance at possession. So it's kind of like college. So in that sense, there's no, the clock doesn't do anything. It would have rolled into another second overtime if it was still tied. You know what I mean? There's no way for that. That wasn't going to affect anything. But they made the change, and they said that both teams will have possession. So it's kind of like college. You want to, when you win the coin toss, you want to defer. You want to defer to the other team, let them go first, so you know what you need to do on your drive. right? You don't want to get the ball first, take a field goal, then they know, or miss a field goal, then they know all they need is a field goal to win. So that was the first head scratcher there. Kyle Shanahan apparently and the players had no clue that that's how the rules were. And to me, bro, slap yourself. You don't deserve to be a coach. I don't understand how you're a coach or a player at this level and you don't know the basic rules.
So in the regular season, it's both teams will have a chance, but unless the first team scores a touchdown. Am I wrong?
Oh, so this is just
I think so.
This is just a postseason thing?
Yeah. So if you in the regular season, if you kick a field goal, you don't automatically win. The other team has to match or score a touchdown. But if you score a touchdown first, that's it, you win. But in the postseason,
there's two chances no matter what.
And the Chiefs, Andy Reid and everybody in company there have been preparing for this since the preseason. They were aware of the rule change and they were preparing for it, that if it came into play at the end of the season, whether in a playoff or a Super Bowl setting, they knew what was going to happen. They knew what to do. They were not unprepared like the Niners were. I mean, dude, like slap yourself that you're out there telling people, oh, we didn't know. Just like, what was it? Donovan McNabb, like years ago, was like, oh, I didn't know NFL games could end in a tie. Like, bro, you can't be a professional athlete at this level and not understand the rules of the game, man. And I know it's a rule change, but it wasn't changed last week, okay? It was changed before the season started. You should have done better, man. And this whole Kyle Shanahan thing, man, very head scratching, man. That Niners team, super loaded. They were the favorites in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs were underdogs in every game except the Dolphins game. I think that because they were the home team in that one. They were underdogs against the Bills. They were underdogs against the Ravens. And they were underdogs last night against the Niners. And the Niners, man, on paper, they were healthy. They had all their players. They suffered that horrible guy blew out his Achilles Carminati right at the first quarter there or something like that. Like just running on.
He wasn't even playing down.
He was like
he's just running onto the field.
Yeah, a little too excited.
Guys, whoop, damn, you know. You have all these like outlying factors here, but on paper, the Niners were primed to really make this a game. You know, they have a great defense. They have a great offense that's clicking. The concern was Brock Purdy, and can we put it to rest right now? Brock Purdy, that guy's a baller. I'll give it to him.
He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. Fine. Good.
But he's not Mahomes, so that's the difference.
Fair enough. He's not Mahomes. Although they did say, I like what they started calling him. They said he's no longer a game manager. He's a game executive. You know, they're like, it's a level up. He's not just, thinking and dunking and stuff. No, he could put a team on his back, carry them, and man, good for him. He played very surprised because there was no storylines going into this Super Bowl. There was no real what's going to happen, this, that. Like we were trying to make storylines all last week and for 2 weeks here since we've known the matchup, and there was just nothing. It was just, all right, it's the Niners that people don't really like and the Chiefs that apparently now are the biggest villains because they win, and it's like, all right, well, root for, it was very divided. I think everybody wanted Ravens, Lions, there was a lot of just no fun going into it. It was kind of like I didn't even have a Super Bowl get together or anything. I was cleaning the house. I took the dogs out for a walk a couple of times because I was like, this game's boring. And it didn't have that same flavor of Super Bowls past. But Purdy, if anybody had a storyline or anybody was answering the same question over and over for the last couple of weeks was Purdy, and everybody answering for Purdy. And the dude, I thought, man, balled out. I thought he played great, didn't throw an interception, scrambled, made plays, looked comfortable where he didn't look comfortable a couple of weeks ago in the other game where he was, very erratic, was overthrowing everybody. He looked calm, cool, poised. I thought he was great. And
everyone was covered. Like I said, it's not like he was terrible. He wasn't missing throws or anything. There's just nobody open because the coverage was outrageous. Or Chris Jones was, suplexing him. Those were the two options for him in that game. Either everyone's covered or he's getting mashed. That was it.
There was a couple suplexes in that game that didn't get flagged. You're not allowed to do that.
There was a little WWE in there, know. I saw some of it. But
there was a steel chair. They completely missed it.
Somebody had the brass knucks. There was a low blow somewhere there. But again, I like that there was no penalties. There was no egregious. It was a clean game. Like I said, there was that one incident in overtime where I was like, that was a very suspect call.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like, all right, it is what it is. It happened. But both teams were very disciplined, even though they were suplexing each other in these scrums and stuff. And who knows what else was going on underneath those dog piles. But it was definitely a Super Bowl that was controlled by the defense. It was the defense carried the narrative. The defense carried the teams. And in the end, it was the defenses that got tired. I mean, both teams in overtime.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter, I don't think the teams were doing anything different. It was just the guys were tired, so we're running open.
Exactly. In the fourth quarter and in the overtime, it was just, they're marching down the field like it's all good. I think Mahomes was 7 of 7 on that last drive, like some ridiculous stat like that. I think Purdy also had
8 of 8.
8 of 8 on that last drive. Again, just defenses at that point were tired, and the offenses were just, they were clicking. And Mahomes just, man, dude, Mahomes is up there. Like, I don't know where you want to rank him, where you put him. He's definitely... God,
I got one for you.
Oh.
Patrick Mahomes is the only NFL quarterback in the last 30 years to go 8 for 8 or better with 27 plus rushing yards on any single drive in any game, regular or postseason. And he did it in overtime.
Wow. By the way,
he does the same thing every game. He's just throwing, standing around, scrambling, whatever. And then in the fourth quarter, he just runs for like 3 first downs and completely murders whatever team is there every single game. And you would think that like sooner or later you'd catch on, but nope. Fourth quarter, overtime comes around. He is going to run for at least 2 to 3 first downs.
It's so gross because he looks so non-athletic. He has that little, like when he walks, he does like this little shoulder shimmy, and it's like, it's very like,
What is this?
I don't know.
What is this? I don't know what this is. Why does he do that? So that thing with his hands, why does he do that after every play?
I don't know, man.
Whether it was successful or not, he's like this.
He's a very strange guy. Like if you watched that series on Netflix, The Quarterback, like he was very, very weird. He's very cocky, but he's very confident, and he's very much like when I saw it, and we talked about this on another episode. He came off very like annoying, like just like like when you're that young kid who's like who knows everything, like that teenager who's like, man, I know everything because like my dad told me this, and like he came off like that level of cocky and arrogant. But I can't dismiss it or I can't like hate on it because dude, 3-time Super Bowl champion, and
he's walking the walk.
And Kirk Cousins and what was the other guy that was on the show, Mariota? They weren't like that, and they ain't got no championships. One of them ain't even got a job right now. So what he's doing works for him and good for him. But man, he's just like very annoying. Just like he's just a weird dude.
So do you think the show is what is making him unlikable now?
That's a good question.
Or do you think it's the fact that he's now won 3 Super Bowls in the last 5 years or something?
Yeah, 3 and 5 years. Yeah.
You got to see anyone's face 4,000 times every single Sunday because he's in every commercial. It's gonna grind people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the winning. I think it's just you have to see his face all the time, and then on top of that, he's beating your team.
Yeah. People want to compare him to Brady though, but the narrative is not exactly the same because the narrative with Mahomes is, God damn it, this guy is so good. He always finds a way to win. The narrative with Brady was, oh, of course, tuck rule. Oh, of course, you can't touch the guy. Oh, of course, whatever. Oh, of course, Amendola made a catch behind his back with whatever. That was the narrative with Brady for a long time. Obviously, 7 Super Bowls, undeniable. The guy is...
Dude, Brady has started 10 Super Bowls.
Yeah, that's insane.
10 Super Bowls. That's an insane, just statistic in itself. That's got to be one of those, most... Where's that? Spicy sports nugget. He started 10 Super Bowls. I mean, everybody knew that, but still, I think
it's like mild sauce sports nugget.
Nah, all right.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody
knows
it's
spicy if not everybody knows it. Everybody knows
it's medium. It's medium. It's mild and medium. But okay, but sometimes we forget what a ridiculous number that is. But anyway, I think you're right. I think there was different circumstances with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Brady was also never looked at as like a specimen, like this great athlete quarterback that can do all the throws. It was always like he was Brock Purdy before Brock Purdy. He was like, oh, the game manager. Oh, he has other players. Oh, he knows how to like not do the bad play, but he's not doing anything great until the season where he was like, gave everybody double middle fingers and set the record for like touchdown passes and the greatest offense you ever saw. But then they lost in the Super Bowl. But he showed you that he has that capability and he was able to turn it up. But with Mahomes, it's just been he's a first-round pick from the jump. And, I mean, 6 seasons in, 6 AFC championship games, 4 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowl championships. It's gross. It really is. He's just physically different. And I think the play of the game was that 4th and 1 in overtime where he does that, where Kelsey comes in on the motion and they do the fake run. And he just like, all right, I'm going to bootleg this to the right. And, like, just nobody touched him, but like it's him. The play was gonna go through his hands, like the season, everything was gonna fall on him, or he was gonna make it happen. And that's one thing that I shit on some quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers, and I've talked about this before, where they always don't get the blame when they mess up, but other quarterbacks always get the blame, like the Tony Romos and such. But with Mahomes, the dude just hasn't done anything to lose it. You know what I mean? He has I can't recall that like the boneheaded play that he's done. He's never done one.
No,
I mean,
the only time he's lost is because he had no offensive line and he was on a bum leg.
Literally, and he was going up against Tom Brady.
And he was going up against Tom Brady.
Super Bowl guy starting his 10th. Like again, you can't get mad at him for that. But
and they were still in it.
And they were still in it, but it was But then the Bucks pulled away, and it was like all right. But again, there's no evidence, there's nothing that makes you go, wow, this guy, he's just not that good, or like he messed up, or like we're over,
or like he has that one bonehead playing in him.
The guy is just damn good. Like he just doesn't mess up. You know what I mean? And again, no Tyreek Hill for 2 seasons. What does he do? Win 2 Super Bowls.
Most drops ever by wide receivers in one team in 1 year.
Yep.
Yes.
Doesn't matter.
Still.
Horrible receiving core, and it's crazy because now they're trying to become the first team ever to three-peat. They'll be up for it, and man, they have as good a chance as anybody. I mean, they have as good a chance as they've had ever, because that team is just going to be a little bit better. Still young. Mahomes isn't even 30 yet.
Rashee Rice is gonna step up. He's gonna take another step forward. He's their rookie this year. He had a good season. He's built that rapport with Mahomes throughout the season, so they're gonna be even more connected next season.
Yeah. Oh, and wait till eventually. I would like to think that some decent wide receiver is gonna be like, hey, I want to go play with Mahomes. And sign over there. I don't think
last season it was Juju.
Yeah,
Juju Smith-Schuster. He had a good game. He had a good Super Bowl too.
He caught up. I didn't even see his name called in the Super Bowl. Maybe he did his plays when I was walking the dogs. I didn't even know he was in there. I didn't see any.
No, not this year. No, I'm talking about last season.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
This season he played somewhere else.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, so again, but Juju Smith, I'm talking about like an elite level receiver. Like if he doesn't get one to come over, that's a great place. They got great fans. You're gonna play at home pretty much every game of the playoffs, and you have the greatest quarterback of his generation. I'm not gonna say of all time yet, but he's on the trajectory. He's there. But let's pump the brakes a little bit on the Chiefs here. The Niners. My big issue. I'm gonna tell you mine, and I want to hear what your guys was. Again, Shanahan, scared of running the ball. It's called milking the clock. I don't understand how you're up 10 and you're just like, well, correct me if I'm wrong, did McCaffrey not win Offensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year. Let me make sure that people see this. Offensive Player of the Year. That means the best player on offense, and you didn't give him the ball. It was like he was so determined to make Brock Purdy be the guy who wins this Super Bowl, and it's just it blows my mind. How do you not, bro? McCaffrey legit gives me doo-doo pants. Like every time I see him play, I'm like, bro, this guy, he's gonna run for like 187 yards on like 27 carries. I think he finished with like 22 and 80. You know, like, come on. How do you not give that guy who's a beast?
Even then, he still had 70. He's the first player in NFL history or in Super Bowl history to have over 75 rushing and over 75 receiving.
Take that.
Exactly. So it's not that they didn't use him. You know what I mean?
No,
they just didn't run it as much as they should have.
But that's the thing, though. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, bro, Brock Purdy, it's not Mahomes back there, okay? Mm-hmm. It just hand the ball off, milk the clock. Every time you try to throw a pass and it's incomplete, it stops the clock. And we just said it. Achilles pointed out at the beginning. The defenses were so on point. The coverage was phenomenal. You know, like, why are you continuing to give into that? And not to mention, you have this reputation already that people know you as the guy who blew 2 other Super Bowls because of your play calling, once as a coordinator and another time as a head coach when you had a lead. And it's like, bro, how do you keep falling for that? And I don't know. If I'm a Niners fan, I'd like to I know a couple. I got to reach out to them and see how they feel, because I wouldn't know how I would feel right now, because that team, the talent that they have on paper, the production that they did, and the fact that they were able to put all these pieces together, bro, Brock Purdy is a gift. You're paying that kid the league minimum so you can afford to pay all these other guys a ton of money. You have a small window. You're supposed to throw it, put it all in, go all in, and just do everything you can. And then, bro, you get to the last game, and all of a sudden you're going to load management McCaffrey here, bro. Just give him the ball, man. Like, just let him. I know he fumbled at the beginning, and that was only like his second or third fumble of the season. Like, bro, he's not going to do another one, man. Like, that's it, bro. He just... I don't know, man. If I'm a Niners fan, I wouldn't know how to feel. I wouldn't know how to feel. Yeah. I mean, he did, but you could have gotten so much more, you know? And if you lost the Super Bowl and everybody said, oh, well, you lost it because all you did was run it with McCaffrey, nobody's going to be like, well, you should have passed with Purdy. Exactly, nobody's going to say that. You know what I mean? You open it up for the fact that now everybody's going to criticize you. And again, I don't know if I'm a Niners fan.
Sometimes these guys, they get too in their heads. Like, they try to think of what the other coach is thinking. Sometimes they know what you're thinking, yeah, and you know what they're thinking, and it all comes down to who's going to execute best. It's not about doing what they don't think you're doing. You know what I mean?
And also in, fourth quarter overtime of a Super Bowl, you run the ball, and then it's 2nd and 8, and you get lemon butt. You know what I mean? It's hard to in that be like, all right, well, we only got 2 yards this time. Let's just do it again, because then you got 3rd and 6 or 7, and then you're like, oh, now I really have to rely on Brock Purdy.
Horrible.
I think it's like if some of those would have been chunk yards, they probably would have stuck with it. But that Chiefs defense is very, very good, and I think it scared them.
But your rushing offense is even better than anybody's defense, and you just got to give the ball to your guy, bro. Give the ball to him, man. You're not saving him up for next week, bro. Like, everybody just empty out the tanks, man. I want to see it all out on the field. Before we get into the bets and go over how we did, quickly, good game, great game. The Super Bowl, was it a great game or was it a great ending?
It was a fine game. It just got the fourth quarter was unbelievable.
Yeah, it was more of a great ending than a great overall game.
Okay. Yeah. I think so.
Like I said, you have to really, really, really like football to be like, yes, man. Oh, the cover 3 was great. You know what I mean? Because that's what it was. It was just like, if you really love defense, then you thought that game was awesome.
Yep.
I see here. Something like that.
So since we're about to get into the bets, I did love the fact that we were I think well into the second quarter and there still wasn't a touchdown. So that whole who's gonna score the first touchdown bet was still up in the air. Both teams had the ball multiple times already. It was like, who's gonna friggin' score? And it was still the favorite to score.
Yeah, no surprise there. That's one of the ones that you won, was who would score the first. You said San Francisco, and you said McCaffrey. Congrats. I looked at my Hard Rock account and I was like, oh, I got a few bucks. I was like, let me throw a couple of tens down. I had like $30 or almost $30. I had like 27, so I put or 37. Sorry, I put 3 $10 bets, and then I had $7 left over. And I was like, all right, let me just pick a wacky bet, with like a high thing. And I was like, You know what? I remember when Antoine Randall L threw a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I was like, maybe this is the year it happens again. So I picked that one. It's like $7, and that's the one I hit. I was like, all right,
nice.
Yeah. It was between that or have a quarterback complete a completion to himself. And I was thinking about that, but I was like, no, that happened last week with the Ravens. I was like, yeah. I'm not. You can't double dip on that.
Mhm.
So I was like, no, not gonna happen. But I did do my picks were. I had two guys for the Niners two guys for the Chiefs as first reception of the game, and one guy for the Niners. But then the Niners won the coin toss, and I was like, well, there goes half my bets. And yeah, I had Debo, and it was like I forgot who caught the first pass. Like wasn't it the tight end Juice or the running?
Oh, Jurchik. What's his name?
Juszczyk.
Yeah, that guy. I think he caught the first one. I was like, damn it, there goes that. So I lost my $30 real quick. But then, I hit $119 on that little touchdown. And I forgot because as it happened, I was like, oh, finally, somebody scored. And I was thinking what Gus said. I was like, all right, McCaffrey, who had that? And then it dawned on me. I was like, wait, did I bet the touchdown thing or the completion to himself? And I was like, I don't remember. And I looked back at my app. Oh yeah, double nice. So I was wondering if it happened again later on. Let's say the Chiefs threw a running back threw a touchdown. Would I get another hit for that? No. Wouldn't it just be every time it happens? I'd get.
I don't think so. That's how that works.
No,
being wishful thinking. But anyways,
that's it. Once it happens, that's it. Is it going to happen? Yes or no? Not how many times is it going to happen?
Well, it didn't clear and say that I won it until the end of the game. That's why I was thinking that.
Well, because things can change and they can take things away, and I think that's just like a standard thing with the app.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because the other ones, as soon as this guy caught that pass, I was like, all right, well, your Chief stuff, get out of my face. And I was like, all right. But anyway, let's review here. Gus, I'll go one by one here. Gus and I had the anthem as going under, and apparently it went over. Thanks, Reba.
Reba. She saw where all the money was going. She was like, okay, how about this?
Yeah.
It's a smart
play.
Money
on herself.
Smart play. Insider betting there. First play, I picked pass. You picked run. You got that one, so point for Gus. Then I won the coin toss. It was tails, and Gus had gone heads. So at this point, we're 1-1. But then here's where Gus first touchdown, and he got the first team to score and the first player to score. He got him right. I had KC guys. He had the Niners correct. We both lost on the
Gatorade
points. Total points. We both went over, and it was under. Gatorade,
it was under by a half a fucking point.
Ooh,
God damn it!
It was under. They knew exactly where to put that line.
Yes, those guys are good.
Bro, unbelievable.
How do they get so close, man?
Bro,
that's ridiculous.
Next level analytics stuff, man.
It is ridiculous.
Insane. All right, next bet was Gatorade color. I was thinking purple. If you recall, I was thinking purple, but then I went lemon lime. I went yellow, and then you went red, and we both got that wrong.
You gotta go purple because no one does just one flavor anymore. Every sport and everything, it is a thing with the athletic trainers that they have the secret recipe that's the most delicious of them all, and it's always like a weird combination.
Look at that guy. Unbelievable. All right. And some insider tidbit there from our boy.
I didn't even think of that. That's true. That is true.
But I figure
all the colors mixed together, they make like a little dark kind of stew.
Yeah. Well, I don't think
not that there isn't. I'm just saying overall, if you're trying to put money into these things.
Yeah. I just figure there's a multiple, like they're gonna have different Gatorade stations. People are like, I like yellow, I like red, I like blue, I like purple, and it's whichever one they grab. That's what I was thinking of. I was like, well, yellow seems to be pretty popular every time I go to the gas station. I'm a guy who only drinks Gatorade if I'm like in an athletic activity. Huh?
Oh yeah, you can't anymore. It's just pure sugar. You're killing yourself if you're drinking it not after a workout.
Oh really? Oh no, yeah. I can't, dude. I know people who like drink it like with their meals and like dinner and stuff, and I'm like, oh
no way, man,
that's gross.
Only athletic activities or after diarrhea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely diarrhea is a good one.
It's
or a bad hangover. Yeah,
exactly.
Bad hangover, diarrhea. You got the poo-poos. All right, Taylor Swift over under. how much airtime she was going to get. She got 54 seconds, you said?
That's what I saw, yeah.
Okay. Well, we didn't know what the line was, but apparently, Gus, we have to go back and review the tape. I think you said it was a minute that we decided on.
I think we decided on a minute.
Okay. Well, I went over, you went under, so you got that one right. Apparently, that one's a suspect
Which,
one.
from what I remember, I wanted to place it at 45, and you were like, "No way." I wanted to place it at 45 seconds.
I mean, if you placed it at 45, I was still going to go over. So I think you're wrong on that one. But
yeah, you would have been right. You would have been right.
I know. That's why I wouldn't have made myself harder to win. But anyway, and then the last bet was the Taylor 13 that Kelsey was going to do 13 receptions, and we both said no, less than that. So we both got that right. So that's how we did. That was our gambling.
That one was easy.
Prowess. That one was, although he what 9? Pretty close. 9 and he didn't have a catch for like 2.5 quarters either. Like it was like
That's
1
true.
in the first quarter and then like 8 in the fourth in overtime. So
that is true.
Could have happened. So
and if he wouldn't have tackled Andy Reid, maybe he would have reached the 13.
Bro,
yeah,
that's a bad look, dude. That's a bad look.
You think so?
Yeah.
They apparently like brushed it under the rug and they were like, look, man, he's just competitive, and I didn't
see it
because
they won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they would have lost, he would have been cut or traded.
Nah. He was mad because he wasn't in on that play and the guy fumbled the ball. Nah, he just wanted to win. I didn't find it that
touch. You can't do it. It doesn't matter if it's by accident.
Bad.
It was bad, dude. Because he was rabid.
He was, yeah.
That
was pretty.
I didn't find it as egregious as you guys, but anyway,
if Taylor Swift was Andy Reid's granddaughter, she would have broken up with him. How about that?
I'm just saying, you see something like that, you gotta start second guessing. Like maybe he gets mad at me and then I get bumped.
Yeah, there might be some explaining to do that last night after all the partying.
Yeah,
although they look pretty happy post game, you know. They had their little moment there of smooches and oh my god, I'm so happy, and then just the inevitable, you know, breakup song from Taylor's coming. So you know, it's just a matter of time. I'm just waiting for.
No, he won the Super Bowl, therefore there will be a proposal.
You think
I'm
so?
I'm surprised he didn't do it on field after the game.
Oh no, I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect.
He's gonna put a ring on it and during his ring ceremony. That's when he's gonna do it. It's gonna be a double ring ceremony.
Double, bro.
Double rings. All right. I think Kelsey understands the fact that this is a game and he's playing there for other people, not for the clout at that moment. You know, he's playing there for his teammates and stuff. So that's why he didn't even mention her and any other things. You know. So I don't think he would do it in a public display like that.
It's gonna happen because.
Gotcha. Okay.
So eventually.
All right. Yeah, eventually, and we'll see. Maybe Taylor is next year's Super Bowl halftime performance, and he runs out at halftime and just proposes in the middle of her set and just throws everybody off. Wow, talk about a viral moment, huh?
Speaking of Super Bowl halftime shows,
yeah, there we go. So Ursher, how many times did you say Ursher? Or was that just me? Because I kept saying it all night.
I have no idea.
I was just like, I can't wait for Ursher. I can't wait for Ursher. No, I'm the only one who finds that like funny and kept repeating it. All right.
I mean, I don't say it like if it's a regular word. I say it like they say it in the song, like Ursher, and I did this with my shoulders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can we acknowledge there was a really big missed opportunity? There was one thing that didn't happen in his performance that I was very upset about. Can you guys guess? I'll give you a clue.
Oh, yes. And he did the song. He even did the song. So why didn't he watch this, bro? Why didn't he watch this for us, man? They should have put a tiny desk out there.
He's probably one of the guys that has no idea that's even the thing. He just lives in his
he knows. He knows.
In a weird stratosphere where it's just like outside.
That's a valid point, dude. That's a very valid point. But I was upset. I was like waiting for it. At some point, I was just waiting for the, oh, God, dude, missed opportunity. But I'll tell you what made up for it, and to me was like what put this performance above some others. It's not a top performance of all time for me, as much as I am a fan of Ursher and I do enjoy all the stuff. And I thought the whole performance from start to finish was good. I do have a couple little gripes, and I'll see what you guys think. But the skating, the fact that they came out on the rinks, and the fact that he put on skates, stumbled a little bit, when he went
At
underneath the
first, but
legs
then
of
he got-
Homeboy. But
then he
He
got
went
it.
under the
Pulled it
legs of
off
Will I
pretty
Am.
well.
That was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
That's a small man. It's not easy to get under there.
Yeah, for real.
he did. He did. That was dope, dude. I was like, oh
Hell
snap,
yeah,
man.
man.
I was like getting ready to go to Hot Wheels afterwards, man. It was great.
Right, bust out the cascade.
Yeah. What was what out of his performance? What did you like? What did you not like? What did you wish he did differently? Was there anything like that? Because like I said, I have a couple little complaints, but I want to see what you guys think first.
No, man, I thought it was great. He didn't lip sync. He was singing for real.
For real.
You know what I mean?
No breaks. No like
yeah.
sometimes yes, sometimes no.
He had a wardrobe change in the middle of it, and it took him like 10 seconds. Amazing.
True professional.
No complaints, bro. I thought it was awesome. I would have liked for him to do "You Make Me Wanna," which is his first hit single ever. You know, but yeah. I was afraid that he wasn't gonna do because every commercial about him doing the show referenced yeah. So I was like, if he doesn't do it's gonna be a letdown. He had to do I'm glad he did it.
I thought it was either gonna open with or close with I thought it was I knew it was gonna be in there. I was like, there's no way he's gonna can't miss that. I was surprised that the song I thought he was gonna open with was the second song. Because he started with Caught Up, and then he hit the At the Tonight, my jam. He hit it with that one. You don't have to come. But
I got a missed opportunity for you.
They
should have started the Super Bowl so that halftime lined up at 7:00 on the dot. You know what I'm saying?
But it was cool what they did on the stage. I like that they did on the stage where the clock went to that. I thought that was very cool.
Cool. I thought the presentation, the little aesthetics of somebody called this Cirque du Usher or something like that. They said it was like Cirque du Soleil, but Usher. It was pretty cool because he had all these.
I mean, he had a Vegas residency for months.
Yeah, so he had all that. That side of it was really cool. My not missed opportunity, but my little gripe was, I felt like and again, it's a gripe, but then it's a good thing at the same time. I think in the end he did 13 songs in his medley, but 13 songs in 13-minute performance means you're just playing each song for like a few seconds, which to me, that's where I was kind of like, I wanted to hear I think he said there was like one song where they just played like the first little words and then they went into another song. I think it was a 7 o'clock.
It's not his fault he had so many jams.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was like a good thing and a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But because as soon as he said it's 7 o'clock on the dot, I was like, yeah. And then he's like, he goes into another song. I was like,
They played audio from a meme right before that where somebody asks, do you know where Usher was at 7 o'clock on the dot? And they will ask like unsuspecting white people, and sometimes they don't know the answer.
So
that was amazing.
No, I thought that was dope. What about the surprise guest that accompanied? I mean, it was a surprise, but everybody knew he was going to bring some people. Who stole the show? Who stole the show?
I just like that it wasn't a million different people. It was all people related to him. It just wasn't just like, and this person for no reason, and that person.
Okay, fair.
Which
fair,
what happens with when there's a lot of the guests. It was like, no, this person was on this song, so they will sing the song together. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Yeah. Her coming out with the guitar was dope as fuck.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
it was. I actually saw her in concert before,
although.
Dope. I don't know if maybe it was just me, but it felt like when she was playing the guitar, it didn't feel like she was playing the guitar. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't know if that's pre-recorded.
So I would trust her.
Exactly. I wouldn't doubt it. Because she is talented, but I don't know if that was like an audio thing or something. It just felt a little like it didn't feel like real, you know, but I was like, okay,
maybe
I know she could play that, you know. I definitely know she could play that. What's up with was it Jermaine Dupri's shoes?
Oh my god.
No, he looked like a little
What he looked like, you know the berries and cream guy?
At first, to be honest.
You know the berries and cream? He looked like, bro. Yes, he looked like that guy. Yes. He's a little lad that likes berries and cream, bro. Bro, for like 3 seconds, for like the first 3 seconds, I thought he was CeeLo.
Yeah,
I said the same thing.
I was like, yo, CeeLo Green, that's cool. Yeah, Atlanta, I get it.
Shot was like from down up, so you just saw a person that was bald with glasses and the mic in his face, and you couldn't tell who it was at first. Like, what?
Yeah.
Thank God. All right, I wasn't gonna say it because I was like, bro, it would just, it was gonna end up bad for you guys.
I guess if you say it,
but. Exactly. So you know where I'm going. I was like, well, I thought it was CeeLo, and then I didn't even find out honestly that it was Jermaine Dupri till after the performance. Like I thought I was like, oh, CeeLo was in the halftime, bro.
We thought it was CeeLo all the time.
Honest, only CeeLo Green would wear an outfit like that. You'd be like,
exactly. Like
that's why
it made sense to me. I was like, all right,
he's bald and he's dressed weird. You know,
I didn't know that wasn't him. Wait, and wait, you said will.i.am was
He does not look like he's from Atlanta where the players play. All right, he did not look like that.
He's from some small London
yes.
English town where the lads play, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, a little
where the lads frolic.
Dude. Bro,
welcome to the Shire.
I didn't even know will.i.am was there. I didn't know will.i.am was there. Was he the dude with the helmet?
Yes, he was the guy with the helmet.
So I thought that was CeeLo. I thought he just put on a helmet or something. I thought it was like wardrobe
CeeLo did was one guy. CeeLo had
Wow,
wardrobe changes too.
Yeah. I thought Lil Jon was
I think you're
that
crazy.
angle from the pit. I thought that was pretty cool in the little mosh pit. And you see the guys like
cool.
flying in the background. Did you see that? There's like some like they just throwing people up in the air. And I was like, oh, it's like the meme video. Like, good job for what? The guys in the boat where the bodies are just flying. I was like, that maybe. I don't know if that was that good of thinking or planning, but maybe. But I thought that was dope. That was a whole lot of fun. And then Ludacris with those weird boots at the end, like the shoe.
Oh, I didn't
shoe game
boots.
has changed, bro. Oh, bro, he looked like they looked like those mischief boots, but they were black, but they looked like Ronald McDonald shoes. Like they was just some absurd, like
maybe he can run. He can run faster and more furious with those.
No, I don't think you can run at all in those things, bro. It was
Alicia Keys' dress.
Bad.
When they show Alicia Keys with that dress was like taking up half the football field. That was amazing.
The piano, that red
was really
thing.
Cool too, yeah.
Oh no, she was dope. Although I like all the Swiss Beats memes of with Usher like cuddling her, and then
that's the first thing you're like, ooh no,
yeah.
He's not happy about that.
I like the one of they said Swiss Beats as soon as the halftime show is over, and it's the guy who jumped over the podium and attacked the judge. Remember that video?
yeah.
Like going after Usher right after. But anyway, fantastic. All right, so we're all in agreement. We like the show. We found out some stuff. Like I didn't know that it wasn't CeeLo or that it was somebody. I found out it was Jermaine Dupri afterwards, and I found out will.i.am was in the show. It was it was good.
I have a question for you guys. So Achilles is gone. Personally, there he is. All right, Achilles.
Sorry.
It's all good. I have a question for you guys. So personally, I love the run of Super Bowl halftime shows since Jay-Z took over. Right? In 2020, we had J-Lo and Shakira. In 2021, we had The Weeknd. 2022, it was the whole West Coast vibe with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and all those guys.
Yes.
Last year, Rihanna, and now Usher. Okay?
Usher.
So personally, I would love for that trend to continue, but there are people that are getting, okay, can we get like a rock band or something like that? So if you had to pick, act that is not, Jay-Z inspired for next year, who would you pick?
That's a good question.
I have no idea.
There's only one right answer.
Oh,
it's Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
But they have to be introduced by Christopher Walken. They have to be.
Yeah, special MC of the evening. I think Foo Fighters would be a great one, and it has been rumored that people want that. So it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I think maybe it's time for a little rock flavor. But with that being said, I wanted to go over. I found The Athletic put out a list of they ranked all the Super Bowl performances. So first of all, I want you to tell me the ones that you like, and I'll tell you if they're a top 10 or not, and then we'll get into it. Which is some that you are a big fan of, Gus? Which is
Prince,
one of your favorites?
Prince playing Purple Rain while it's raining, and of course it was in Miami. Yeah. Oh God,
that one was. It's definitely a top 10. Achilles, which one for you?
Oh, I don't even.
You don't have no favorite?
Come on, just
So,
pick 'em, bro.
see, I was a big Coldplay fan. I'm a big Coldplay fan. The one they did with Bruno Mars and Beyonce. That's 14 on the list. I was surprised. I thought that was a better one. But anyway, all right, let's go. I'm gonna give you from. Let's see here, because some of these older ones like Tom Petty, Maroon 5, 2019. That was awful.
Yeah.
It's like 19th all time. Not memorable at all.
Where's Michael Jackson on that list?
Get to it. So Lady Gaga comes in at 13 back in 2017.
I like that one.
Usher.
Spectacle.
Usher. Yeah. Usher. Is that the one Lady Gaga? Was that the one at the end where she just jumps off something and like
yes, like a cat. She was like
with abyss. That was solid, man. Solid entry. That was 2017. Usher comes in at number 12. His performance, they put it in at 12. So apparently there's 11 better performances. So here we go.
Wow.
Number 11, which I think is a disservice. I think this is one of my personal. This one is in my top 5. The Weeknd, 2021. I thought The Weeknd was phenomenal. I remember we talked about it when we were at Onside after that Super Bowl. And considering the circumstances and what he was able to do, I thought it was super fantastic.
Unique, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and he put a lot of his own money into it too.
Yeah. So Weeknd comes in at number 11. So here's your top 10 according to The Athletic. Number 10, Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, and the Left Shark. Remember the Left Shark?
Left Shark.
Left Shark. Okay. Iconic, man.
The Left Shark.
Nice.
You know? He's like, what the hell am I doing here, bro?
What year was that?
But 2015, man. Wow, it's crazy.
Wow.
Katy Perry, Missy Elliott. I remember Missy Elliott performed, and all of her songs, all of a sudden, the next day were like the number 1 most streamed songs because everybody's like, "Oh, who's this?" And they loved all the songs. Yeah, and everybody was like, all the people our age were telling all the youngsters kids. Like, "Yo, yeah," they're like, "Yo, these got that." She was like dope, like 10, 15 years ago. Where you been?
Yeah.
So that came in at number 10. Number 9, Rihanna. What do you guys think about Rihanna's performance last season?
I just like Rihanna, so.
I love Rihanna, but I wouldn't put that in the top 10.
No? Okay. So you put the Usher one above it?
No, yeah, I would. Nothing against Rihanna. She was pregnant. She can't really do a bunch of crazy shit, but
she did. She was up on a pedestal thing, like 150 feet up over the air by herself. That was pretty dope.
I mean, she wasn't
pregnant, like she didn't do anything, but something super death-defying. Like no big deal. But I get what you're saying.
Like
I didn't
hanging upside down or anything. She was strapped in, standing up.
Yeah, standing up is hard sometimes, though. But I get it. I get what you're saying. I mean, I'm on the same boat. I liked the Rihanna show, but I probably enjoyed the Usher one more. I know I enjoyed The Weeknd more as well. So Rihanna, number 9. Number 8, Madonna, LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo back in 2012, man.
Oof.
How about that, dude? 12 years ago. Huh? Man,
I don't remember
this performance at all.
I just remember MIA
Super Bowl at all.
She flicked off the cameras or something. That's all I remember.
Oh, really? Oh, man. I don't remember this one at all.
All she wants to do is bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, bro. 12 years ago, Nicki Minaj, LMFAO, CeeLo. Man, that was quite the cocktail there. Number 6, there's a tie between Shakira, Bad Bunny, and J-Lo in 2020, which was a phenomenal one.
Yeah.
That was the one here in Miami.
I don't know who that's tied with, but Shakira and J-Lo win.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers in 2014. They ranked
Shakira and J-Lo win.
It was just a better
I think so too.
show in general.
Yeah. Here we go. We're in our top 5 here.
That Chili Peppers and Bruno Mars was good, but yeah. All right, give me.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good, but top 5. Michael Jackson, 1993. That's
5. Number 5.
That's number 5.
I'm sure you've seen this making the rounds on Instagram, but the reason why they got Michael Jackson in 1993 is because the year before, In Living Color decided to do In Living Color.
The counter programming.
And they stole like 20
I remember
viewers.
watching that.
Yeah,
I remember watching that Super Bowl halftime show. It was the Redskins against the Bills Super Bowl, and they were hyping it up because I used to watch In Living Color as a kid, and I was like, "Oh, this is great!" And they were hyping it up. Come tune in, and it was going to be a live thing, and they had a little countdown, like, so you knew when the Super Bowl was going to be back, so you didn't miss anything. It was fantastic. Crazy to think that because of what In Living Color did, it set off this whole, business venture for Super Bowl halftime shows, where it's become like this giant grossing money-making machine. But anyway,
Keenan Ivory Wayans makes so many people money.
Oh, that guy. That guy is owed a lot of money from a lot of people.
He should be a billionaire.
Michael Jackson 5, 4, 2013, Beyonce and Destiny's Child. I'm not,
You're not a Beehive? You're not in the Beehive?
It was a good show,
yeah. I don't recall. I don't remember, but
see, that's the thing.
That's number 4.
The thing with these is it's the spectacle of it, not necessarily like the individual performances or the music.
Yeah.
In terms of like the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Oh, number 4. So they got her ahead of Michael Jackson. So I don't know. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Number 3, I vividly remember U2 in 2002 after 9/11. I've gone back and watched it, and visually, it's like, it's compared to all these other Super Bowls that have happened since, it was just like a really cool little stage, like a little heart or something like that. And then they had the names going off, but the sentiment, the emotion, and then of course Bono holding up his jacket, showing the flag inside. It was like, damn, dude. Oh man, get my American flags going. I joined the Navy. I did all that shit because of that video. Number
thanks a lot,
2.
Bono.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bono. Number 2. Think about what's left here. Think about what's left. What haven't we mentioned that you think might be on here? And there's another one here that we're kind of overlooking here.
I never remember.
How about number 2 is a couple of years ago? No, a couple of years. Just
West Coast.
He was outside of the West Coast, bro. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, Mary J. Blige, Kendrick Lamar, and Eminem. 2022. That is your number 2 performance, which means still the greatest Super Bowl halftime show of all time is still Prince 2007. So I think I wish they would have had the Weeknd a little higher. I wish they would have had some a little lower, but the top 2, man, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm pretty cool with the top 3. With them 2 and U2, I think that's pretty damn solid, man. I mean, my only issue there is I think Beyonce's a little high on the list, but man, not bad at all. So, all right, that about does it because we're up against the clock here. And no other complaints on the list, but we'll see. I don't know, when did they announce the next Super Bowl? They announced it like relatively
not for
quickly.
a while.
No. Oh, really? I felt like they would announce it relatively quickly after the Super Bowl, like, next year.
No.
Stay tuned.
All right, before we go, I got one little tidbit that I found super interesting about the Super Bowl. In the preseason, when the Jets were on Hard Knocks, they had a magician in the locker room, and he did a trick where he picked somebody from the team to give what was going to be their Super Bowl prediction. And he predicted what they were going to predict. So he picked out Mecole Hardman, and Mecole Hardman predicted that he was going to win the Super Bowl against the 49ers.
Oh, wow.
In the preseason. Yes. So this guy, I don't know how he came up with that, but he picked Mecole Hardman out of the crowd, and Mecole Hardman had that in his bag. And he's the one that caught the game-winning touchdown also.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Yeah.
Incredible storyline. The scripting that goes to show you.
The script was there. I last thing when Dennis last night said, "Oh, I saw a script that said it was going into double overtime." I was like, "No way!" And then we're there at the very last second. I'm like, "Oh my god!" If they kick a field goal, we're going to double overtime. I'm never going to hear the end.
Time Lord.
Time Lord was there messing with us. Anyway, thanks Achilles for hanging out with us. Gus, thanks for doing what you do. Thanks everybody for listening, watching. If you're listening, make sure to subscribe, like, share, do all that good stuff for us. We'll be back soon. Thank you guys very much, and have a great night.